Hello, everyone.
Welcome back
Welcome back.
to the Agency Code Podcast.
Episode 14. 14, I got it right this time.
Really exciting is we actually got to hang out this week.
Right, and we told you guys one day I'm gonna come there, and I went.
Yeah, she actually gave me 24 hours notice.
I was like, hey, Queen, tomorrow, see you there. And she goes, exactly. I said, perfect.
Yeah,
And
but let me just clear my calendar.
and it worked. It worked. We actually big back like we promised. Tell them all about it, and do not lie.
We ate. Yeah, when we say we big backed, we big backed
Oh,
straight
yeah.
to the
Mm-hmm.
back. It just happened Cinco de Mayo.
Bella's favorite holiday.
Mayo. Don't come for me. Cinco, 5th of May on Tuesday, Oso Taco Tuesday.
I didn't even think about that. You're right. Oh, and we had tacos. Oh my gosh, did you plan that? Because I didn't think about that.
Well, I was getting my hair done, and my hair girl was like, "Are you gonna go for tacos today?" And
There you
then
go.
I was like, "You're right."
You're smart. You're smart.
Would be rude
Yeah, but
not
we
to,
did
but
that.
because we were super last minute, all of
Yeah.
the popular restaurants were fully booked. So I
Yeah.
found this like kind of hole in the wall place. Low key, when I booked the rezo, the guy sounded Spanish or Mexican on the phone, so I was like, perfect, you know it's gonna be good.
Burf. This is authentic. What I was looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
It
And
has to be.
how were the tacos in your
10 out
region?
of 10.
10
10
out
out
of
of 10.
10?
I
Fire.
loved it.
Fire. And we got a pitcher of margarita. Yes, pitcher of margarita for 20
We
bucks.
knew. We knew what we wanted.
Yeah, literally for 20 bucks. So,
So it was perfect. And then let me just please expose this for a second. We got full after that, okay? But the thing is, Bella saw the churros go out to another table. She said, "Low-key, like it looks good," and I was like, "Yeah, do you want to have like dessert here or like somewhere else?" Mind you, at this point we're still full, okay? But we're still discussing dessert because priorities, okay?
because dessert is not optional.
Exactly. So we're like, let's just do churros. We'll have like one each, and we'll take the rest to go, and then we'll like go have like dessert elsewhere. Like, cool, cool. It came out. We had our singular churros, and then we're like, there's no point in really taking these home. Let's just finish it. So we finished those. They were dense as hell. They were not some light churros, mind you.
They were thick.
They were thick, a little bit doughy, but they were really good. And then you can tell them the rest of the nonsense.
Okay, I'll take over. So, yeah, at this point, we'd had our tacos, 3 tacos each. We had our 2 churros each. We had half a pitcher of mango margarita. All of this was like honestly solid like 9 out of 10. Like my only complaint my only complaint would be the lack of napkins at this restaurant.
And water, apparently.
Water, yeah. I'm
We
sorry.
got one napkin each.
At a restaurant is when you have to keep asking for more water when they don't just come and like refill it or like bring a jug and put it on the table.
Yeah, they didn't
So
even bring it until you asked twice to the table to
yeah, I had
begin
to
with.
ask
Yeah.
twice for water in the first place, which also you shouldn't even have to ask for water, but whatever. And then these napkins, like dollar store paper napkins.
And we only got one each in the beginning. Like, how are you gonna eat
I got
tacos with one each?
taco, guys. Your
It just
girls
makes
just
no sense.
need a few napkins.
Yeah, like we're eating with our hands here, guys. Come on, lock in.
Yeah, clearly I don't know, we're experiencing napkin shortage or something because,
Apparently.
yeah. Afterwards we said, okay, well, we already talked about getting dessert elsewhere, so that is still in fact in our cards for tonight, but
But we were only thinking of one dessert. One was what we discussed, which was ice cream afterwards.
I
That's all we discussed.
and the nice thing about being downtown is you can walk everywhere, so we went on a little jaunt.
Stroll. A
It
little
was a
stroll.
perfect digestion walk, and we're walking past a cookie place, and Rutha says, "That looks good." She eyes it up. And before I actually rewind, before we leave the restaurant, she goes, "So, what are your thoughts on crumble?"
Bitch. Okay, you know what? It was since we don't have crumble here yet, like I thought we were on the same vibe, and Bella's like, I mean, it's okay. So I was like, okay,
I
so that's
think
a
it's a
no.
bit overrated. I think it's mid. Like, they're
It's
good.
mid, but it's mid, but it's like a rite of passage every time you're near one, I
Okay,
think. You know what I
that's
mean?
because I have crumble available to me anytime. Like, I don't care for it, but I understand why being a tourist to Calgary, you wanted
A tourist. Yeah.
you wanted crumble. But we did end up stopping in. We said we'll go browse. We'll go for a look-see. We take one step into this store, game over. Once you smell the cookies, you're not walking out empty-handed.
We didn't stand a chance, actually, but we were very demure, okay? We grabbed one cookie each, and that's it.
And they weren't as big as crumble cookies. Like
They were very small.
they were pretty small, yeah.
Think of crumble minis. That's what they were.
Yeah, they were like crumble minis, exactly. So, and we only ended up eating like maybe 2/3 of those cookies, and they were like 7 out of 10.
Yeah, we were like saving our appetite at this point,
We
mind
were.
you.
Yeah, we said we knew we were going for ice cream, so we were like, okay, we just want a bite, just to taste. And then we
Hmm.
kept on walking down to Made by Marcus ice cream, and that was a 12 out of 10. That ice cream hit the spot.
Amazing.
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 Waffle delish. If you're not
And we
getting your
finished.
ice cream in a waffle cone, what are you doing?
Yeah, because I always get them in a cup, but I was like, this vibe, like it was warm out, everybody was out, it was a cone vibe.
Hmm.
So, yeah. Also, when I was out there, I saw a lot of cool cars, weirdly. No, that has nothing to do with this, but every like block, at least one Lambo was driving by.
As soon as the snow melts in Calgary, the sports cars
Come
come into
out.
circulation.
It makes sense. It
Yeah.
makes sense. But I was like, huh. They're very obnoxiously loud. I will say that. It wasn't like I noticed the vehicle, guys. It's okay. We all see it. But
Yeah, it's like in
but yeah.
case you're blind, they just want to make sure that you can hear them.
I just want to let you know how much the car is, just so you know, just like hear it a little bit. And that's what it was giving, which is fine. But anyways. But yeah, we had a lot of sweet treats. It was really good. I think we did good selections. Like it wasn't junk selections. I'm gonna be honest. It was very well picked,
Very
you know?
well thought out. I
Yeah.
agree. I
Yeah.
agree.
So we got all of the categories done, which was a savory food. We did um an alcoholic beverage. We did desserts times three. And that's it.
Yeah, it was perfect. It was a great night.
Chocolate.
And you know what? Having a night like that every once in a while is needed. It's not going to set you back. It's
Yeah.
important to enjoy yourself, especially when your bestie is in town visiting.
It was so good, guys. And then now we're gonna discuss my move to Alberta. Yeah.
Hard launching it.
Yeah, hard launching it. We're praying it into the universe because how manifestation works, right? So we're gonna have
Exactly. Speaking it into existence. We will
exactly
be in Calgary, and then we can set up a podcast room.
studio. That's
So,
it.
podcast studio happening.
Manifestation out loud. Everybody pray for it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, I cannot wait. Podcast
Mm-mm.
consistency code about to get a massive upgrade.
Massive. Very, very big. Multiple mics, multiple chairs.
Need support and love.
Exactly. Exactly. Um, but then on that note, today's episode 14, what better way to, as we tell you guys about the food that we had all together, better way to talk about some off-season growth, why you think you're not growing, and a lot of training myths that we hear upon um either the bodybuilding space, fitness realm, anything. Yeah. So we're gonna deep dive into that and really discuss the nitty gritty as to why you are not making as much progress as you would like in your growth phases.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. So, starting off strong with the biggest training myths.
We love
I
these.
love debunking these. I love it. It's hilarious. Some of the stuff I see and hear on Instagram is actually just
Mind boggling.
yeah, mind boggling. First one being more volume, i.e., more reps or more exercises in general, spending more time in the gym, like 2 hours or even longer of just weightlifting
Hmm.
equals more gains, more
Yeah.
muscle. I think that is the biggest myth that I see in here all the time. It's like, oh, the more I do, the more I'm going to get out of it. Which,
Yeah.
in fact, in reality, in all truthfulness, less is more in this situation because your body can only recover so much from so much, right? Like you only have like a certain threshold and a certain recovery capacity. And so overdoing it and overspilling that container is not going to reap the same reward as staying within that container and staying within your recovery capacity. So there comes a
Correct.
certain point of no returns and where that volume just becomes junk volume.
Yeah. And there's always a time and place for things like this too. There's a time and place where you need to have more volume and there's times where you don't. So it's just having the ability to have discernment when it comes to those things, but less
Yeah.
being more is very true, yes.
Yeah. And on that same note, like it's important to differentiate between quality sets, like really intentional sets, and then just like doing as much as you possibly can.
Hmm.
Because again, your gas tank is only so large, right? Like there
Mhm.
comes a point where you're just doing reps for the sake of doing reps and it's not actually reaping you any return. So
Exactly.
if you're wondering whether you are doing too many sets and overdoing it, ask yourself, how is my fatigue? Do you feel like you're constantly tired? Is your strength improving week to week or like month to month? Like, are you improving weights? Are you beating the logbook? Also, if you're not tracking your workouts and tracking your weights, highly recommend you start doing so.
Yeah.
Are you always sore? That goes into feeling fatigued all the time. Are you like recovering from your lifts? Are you feeling like ready and energized to go? Like when you wake up in the morning, are you like, yes, I'm ready to go hit legs again? Or are you like, oh my gosh, my legs are still so sore from my leg day three
Mhm.
days ago? All good questions to ask yourself to try to better understand whether you might be overdoing it. And also a general rule of thumb is like 10 to 12 working sets per workout,
Mhm.
per muscle group. So say you're doing a leg day, like 10 sets of glutes and then some hamstring quad accessory movements, glute
Mhm.
accessory on top of that. 10 to 12 like heavy working sets, I would say, is
No, yeah.
a general rule of thumb. Anything more than that is just going to go into that junk volume.
Yeah, I think not, you don't need 4 sets, 3 sets for every single movement.
No, 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 no.
Again, when you said there's only so much, gas you have in the tank there, that if every exercise is like that, it doesn't mean that the more you put in doesn't always mean you're gonna get more out of it, just like you said. So with certain things, I don't even do that. In my opinion, I saw better results and more connection with muscle when I was controlling how many sets I did. And it all came down to how hard you're hitting those sets, right? So I can do 4 sets, yes, but at the same time, I'm not gonna be hitting them as hard as I am for two, because if in your head there, you're doing a warm up, a feeder, do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And then 2 working sets, you know that hey, I only have two. I have to do this to a certain intensity level to get the most out of it, right? So if I'm doing four, I promise you, I'm not gonna do 4 sets of my regular working weight. It's too much. It's way too much. I could not imagine doing hamstring curls for 4 sets on my working set.
Or like 4 heavy sets of hip thrusts. Could you imagine? So yeah, that's a really good point. If you feel like you have the energy capacity to be like doing more sets and literally lifting for like 2 hours, like you're probably just not going hard enough in
For
your
sure.
workout sets. Like if you are truly training to failure at maximum intensity, not leaving any reps in reserve, then you should be feeling pretty dead by the
Mhm.
end of your workout after like 4 or 5 exercises of 2 to 3 heavy working sets in each.
Exactly.
Like, you'll be tapped out. I can promise you
You'll
that.
know.
Yeah.
You'll know. Yeah. That brings us to our next one, which is the infamous you need soreness to grow.
I'm not sore, I'm not making progress.
Oh yeah, and this is the same thing as the if you don't feel the burn, you're not actually
Yeah.
doing it correctly. So I think it goes hand in hand there. I think for newbies, I understand the soreness to grow mindset because you are going to be sore in the beginning for sure. I personally don't remember the last time I was properly sore. My hamstrings, sure, but I would rather say those felt tight rather than sore. So
Yeah,
there's
soreness is normally a result of like a novel exercise, right? Something your
mhm.
body isn't used to. So like if I go to Pilates, like yeah, I'm gonna be sore.
Oh, the next day I'm cooked.
I'm working some little tiny muscles that I don't normally hit.
The
So
fibers,
if
yeah.
you're a newbie in the gym, you're probably going to feel some soreness, but that should dissipate
Mm,
and go away after like a month or so on your training program.
yeah. And it's not a bad thing.
No, no, no,
Again, like
it's not a bad thing at all.
yes,
It's not a measurement of hypertrophy. It's not a measurement of results.
exactly. So instead of focusing on performance, focus on the progression, right? So my mindset prior to, I'm gonna be honest, was I need to hit every single thing at 110%. And that's fine. That's a good mindset to have. But at the end of the day, if I'm hitting everything at 100% failure, or whatever, am I also feeling it where I need to be? Am I just doing it for, I can lift this, so I'm gonna do it, or is it doing what it needs to do? So again, if I do everything at the highest I can, whatever, the next day I probably will be sore. I probably will, because you are so fatigued and things are gonna be tight, whatever, but that's not what we need. Yes, just because you can lift it does not mean you should. That's also another thing there, which is a very hard concept for some people to come to terms with, which again, I understand. Like, I want to look like a strong gal too in there, but at the same time, if you're training for certain goals, it doesn't always have to mean performance as well.
Set the ego aside and focus on mastering your form and execution and truly like hitting failure and maintaining your form and tempo throughout your entire set. If your last few reps start to get a little bit messy, then it's probably a little bit too heavy. And yeah, it's not progression does not always mean like progressing on weight. Like progression can mean doing another rep at that same weight. It can mean slowing down your tempo and better
Mhm.
executing the set. Like it's not always weight focused.
There's always,
Lifting weight is gonna impede your progress. It's gonna impede your recovery.
yeah, there's a lot of ways to measure progression. And for some people, the best way is going to be either rep range or also execution. So your eccentric, concentric. So there's a lot of ways that you can progress that doesn't always mean numbers.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
add a 1 second pause in the stretch
Mm.
position. Like, yeah, there's so many things that you can do to increase that intensity without pushing the weight.
And sometimes here we have a really big question that we need to ask ourselves, and is chasing the soreness or the feeling of being sore harming your recovery? And honestly, it might be, because your body needs to rest for a certain amount of time before you hit a certain muscle group for the best results.
Well, muscle growth, your muscles aren't growing when you're in the gym lifting that weight. Muscle growth happens during recovery. So if you're not recovering properly, if you're not eating enough and you're not sleeping enough to recover from your workouts, then that's going to be a huge hinder to your progress as well.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
there's no point of you looking for that burn or the soreness, because when you're at home laying there, all you're going to be doing is laying there because you're too sore to move. Your body also does need to move after going to the gym. That should not be your only source of movement for the day. I understand if you have like an office, job or like whatever, but if you're so sore to the point where you have to sit still all day long, that is in fact harming your recovery for coming up days or training sessions there for you.
Yeah, and that's a big sign that you might be underfueling yourself too. So obviously in a prep setting and a cut setting when you're in a deficit, yeah, your recovery is probably going to start to take a little bit of a hit. And that's because you are underfueling yourself. Your body is fighting essentially what you're doing to it, right? Like it's asking for more food. So that's kind of to be expected. But in a growth phase in an off-season setting, then you shouldn't really be noticing too much hindrance on your recovery. And if you are, then that's probably a telltale sign to address your food, address your recovery. Like, are you stretching? Are you foam rolling? Are you doing mobility work? How's your sleep and your intensity in the gym? Like, chasing a crazy PR every single day is not necessary.
Exactly. Also, sorry guys.
Try to beat the logbook, but
Yeah.
if it's impeding your recovery, if you're like constantly sore, hurts to walk
It's not,
24/7, then that's it's a
it's
red
not a
flag.
good thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Also, I'm gonna be painting my nails during this, guys. Sorry. I love multitasking, but please move on.
coming from the ADHD brain.
We love it.
Okay,
We
so
love.
moving on the topic of am I eating enough to support muscle growth?
Mm.
I don't know about you, Rutha, but I hate the term bulking
I was
because
gonna say the same thing. Believe it or not, I
I
cannot stand it. I'm
like
so
when
sorry.
somebody asks me if I'm bulking, like I will always say no, regardless of if I'm eating in a surplus or not, because bulking
Oh, we're
is just
fighting.
not the
What do you
term
mean?
I want to use. And I think it's because it has this like connotation where it means you're eating everything in sight and you're like
Yeah.
dirty bulking and you're getting fat and like putting on a bunch of body fat, like, getting super thick. And like that's the dirty bulk culture. And honestly, excessive fat gain is going to hurt your insulin sensitivity. It's going to
100%.
actually impede your ability to pack on muscle tissue. Insulin sensitivity is key to
Very
putting on
important.
Muscle tissue, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are excessively gaining fat, then that's going to hold you back. And that's why I hate this like dirty bulk culture, because going and eating like a Sam Sulek bulk diet, maybe it works for him, but as a 130, 140 pound female, you do not need to be eating like that.
And here's the thing, who came up with the culture of dirty bulking, Bella?
Men.
There you go.
Yeah.
It's just there's always a factor here. But yeah, I think when people ask, oh, like now, like since you're not in prep, like are you bulking? Like I understand why people ask that. It's either people are used to one thing. You're either bulking, cutting, or people don't even understand like the maintaining thing too either. So it's just bulking or cutting. How about just, you know,
Growing. Living.
living, breathing, maybe. I don't know. But yeah,
Yeah.
the excessive fat gain thing, we talked about that before. It's very important because yes, you do need to eat more to grow, hence why it's called a caloric surplus, but it also does not mean clean out your fridge. You know, very still important there to defer the two. But yes, dirty bulking, I think genuinely, what's it called, poisoned our minds because it's either you're getting fat or you're not making the gains. And I also, but at the same time, I don't know about you. I might. What is it? What's the word called? I might something some feathers.
Ruffle some feathers.
I might ruffle some feathers. Thank you. I do not believe in drumroll please lean bulking.
Lean bulking. Okay. Okay, I want to talk about this. So
Please go for it,
lean
please.
bulking or dirty bulking, then somewhere in the middle. Right? Okay, I think again, lean bulking works for some people, but if you are not somebody who has a substantial amount of pre-existing muscle tissue and density, then yeah, you're gonna have to get a little bit uncomfortable and put on a little bit of body fat as a result of eating in a significant surplus. But again, this isn't dirty bulking. This doesn't mean eating everything in sight. You are still being very controlled in what you are eating. I also hate the term off season because it implies that we are just like completely off, throw everything out the window, not tracking
Mhm.
anything. Routine goes out the window. Improvement season because
Growing. That's why I say growing,
yeah,
brother. I'm just growing
we're still locked in. I mean, we just talked about our big back day the other day. That's on
in
occasion
moderation.
a while. Typically in our improvement seasons, we do have like one free meal a week where we just go enjoy ourselves. But we're still locked in. It's not like we're eating everything in sight. And I think people do sometimes use bulking as an excuse just to eat everything. Like, oh, I'm bulking, so it's fine. I'm gonna eat this cookie. I'm gonna eat ice cream. I'm gonna eat donuts.
Also,
I'm gonna eat burgers.
on the same note, though, I feel like when people talk about lean bulking, it's regular bulking because listen, the only reason you're saying lean bulking is because you're so used to, hey, if I'm bulking, it means that I'm putting on excessive body fat. Lean bulking, it's lean building, whatever, it's just saying I'm raising my caloric intake up slower. So you're still gonna be in a caloric surplus at a certain point. It's just coming up slower than what the typical bulking like rate will be.
I
But at the
think,
same
yeah,
time, mhm,
I was gonna say, well, lean bulking is like the correct way,
exactly. Like that's a regular way that it should be done.
but lean bulking, I forget what the word is. Like it contradicts itself
It does.
because you're not gonna stay lean forever in that process. Like you just said, you, it,
And why is that the
so gaining
goal?
body fat is just at a more controlled, slower rate, which is how you should do it, right?
And also, why is that the goal to stay lean while in a caloric surplus when you're wanting to grow? When you're wanting to grow, you should learn at a certain point,
Yeah.
hey, if I'm choosing to do something, I need to understand the concept behind it and my why, and to learn how to be uncomfortable for a season or two. It's not always like you don't always have to keep a certain, caloric surplus going on or keeping a certain body composition. But at the same time, why is lean the standard of everything that you should do, even in a growth phase? That's not how it should be. But it also gets to the point of there's the other side where you said it doesn't mean eating everything. We also have a culture where many people who suffer with binge eating disorders, when they're in a bulk, that masks it. So using a bulking phase to disguise a binge eating disorder too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Very good point as well, which we can dive into another time. Yeah. Okay, the next one, this one makes me laugh. Changing exercises constantly build more muscle, like changing my workout program all the time. Like, well, I need to
Yeah.
change my workout program to like confuse my muscles, like to surprise,
Shock the muscle.
shock the muscle.
I'm dead. Yeah, Bella, tell me, how long have you had your workout plan for? Your training plan?
Okay, so I hired my current trainer, Corey, in October, and we have not switched it once. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April. This is currently month 8.
Yeah, same here. We've changed
Before that, I didn't change it for like a year and a half, probably.
because there's only so much you can change, you know? I've done the same thing, joined him a little bit before you,
Mhm.
kept everything the same. We only took one thing out, one movement, and added one in, and that's it. So,
Yeah, there's only so
muscle
many
confusion.
movements you can do. Yeah, but also the whole premise of muscle building is progressively overloading. And so if you're constantly changing up your workouts and switching up your exercises and your movements, then how are you supposed to progress on that movement, you know? Like it
Yeah,
just confuses me when people are like, "Oh, I want to change it." And you know what I hear a lot is, "Oh, just I'm getting bored, so I need to change it." Okay.
yeah. It's
Well, if you're bored, then you're probably not going hard enough as well. I hate to say it, but
Yeah. Do you know how many hip thrusts we've done in our lifetime? Do you know how many shoulder presses we've done in our
boring
lifetime? Oh,
stuff works. The boring stuff works.
it's really
I
good.
challenge you to push yourself just a little bit harder during your lifts if you feel like you're getting bored, because I think it's exciting to like try to push the logbook and beat the logbook and be like, okay, I did like 135 on this last week. I'm gonna push for like 145 this week,
Mhm.
and it's like a fun little game you can play with yourself. And sure, you can switch things up a little bit, just in terms of like, say you have like a machine row, you can switch that up for like a cable row. Like it's still the same movement, you're just utilizing a different output, like a different machine. Like that's one thing, but like to be completely doing a new workout and swapping up your exercises week to week or even month to month, like it's definitely holding you back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I don't know where this like muscle confusion thing came in or who started that, but like we need to leave that behind like yesterday.
Expeditiously, please.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't
Because
understand.
mastering your exercises matters. Like, I cannot stress how important it is, and
Yeah,
progressive overload requires consistency. So, changing your program every 2 weeks, not tracking your lifts, definitely holding you back.
exactly. I think that's a very, very important thing. Next one here, my personal favorite, lightweight, high reps, tones your muscle. We're honestly gonna make this one really short. No such thing as toning. It's building muscle while having a low body fat percentage, low enough where you can see, the definition that you want to. It differs for a lot of people. Some people can see more definition than others at 15, 18, maybe 12. Like it all is different. And how you hold muscle and if you've built enough muscle. So that's the thing. People think we have different training programs for people who want to tone or people who want to build muscle and get bigger, bulkier, if you will. And it's the same thing. To have a toned look, you need muscle. And fat loss is going to reveal that and the shape and everything. But you have to build the muscle and maintain it while having a lower body fat percentage to have that toned look. How much you train, how much you eat, and how much you build it for how long is going to determine how big those muscles get.
Exactly. Like, plain and simple, you're not going to be toned if you don't have any muscle under there. So, if you haven't gone through a muscle building phase, then you're not going to be toned. There's no such thing as toning. There's no such thing as specific workouts to tone. Like you're not going to go to Pilates and all of a sudden be toned.
But that's the thing. It's a mainstream like fitness
It
culture
is.
that
It
you'll
is.
see you'll see a very petite girl doing a Pilates class, which is fine, but then her coming on there and telling you guys this is how I look like this. But you can tell back in the day she used to play sports and that, involved her being in the weight room, or she went through a phase where she was working out and then she just also happened to
Or
not
just
have that much body
genetically,
fat.
like she's already
Genetic too.
and doesn't carry a lot of body fat. And
And sometimes it will be the least muscular person on
yeah,
earth coming on here telling you, I used to be bulky. Let me show you. And this is how I got toned. And it's just, they just lost weight, but they were never bulky to begin with. They just had higher body fat percentage on them. I'm sorry. Please keep going. I'm getting upset.
I'm getting heated. I truly, yeah.
Yeah.
The number of times people have said to me, "Oh, but Bella, I thought like why do I only have like 8 to 10 reps? Like I thought that high reps is what I need to tone my muscle." Can we just throw that out the window, please? If anything, you want to
Oh,
be
good.
in that 8 to 10, 12 rep range is the most optimal for muscle hypertrophy, aka muscle building, because you're able to lift more weight in a lower rep range than you are a higher rep range. So there's
Hmm.
no such thing as more reps equals more toning. If you want to be toned, basically what you're saying is you just want more muscle definition,
Hmm.
meaning you have to lose body fat, but there also has to be muscle underneath.
To show. You can't show something that's not there.
On that note, if you feel bulky and you're like, "Oh, but Bella, lifting weights is going to make me bulky." Girl, you're not bulky, you just have more body fat on you. Like in our off seasons when we have more body fat on us, yeah, we feel a little bit bulkier than when
And
we're
we might look at too, like it's so yeah.
and you're not just going to accidentally get bulky. Like it really doesn't work like that. Like
We've been
think
trying.
hard we train to put on the muscle that we do have.
And we've been training. We've been trying to get bulky. Trust me.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Trust me, I'm just not quite bulky enough.
It's not working, guys. It's not
Yeah.
working quite yet. Give us a few years.
Yeah. There's just all of this like misconceptions from the social media fitness culture and it drives me bunk.
Crazy stuff. But yeah, we're gonna move on to off-season topic. Off-season, off-season. I know Bella doesn't like that. We're gonna say our improvement season. There we go. That's better. Improvement season.
Growing
A
season,
lot of sorry.
baking baking cake season. What
You
is the
know,
goal? So okay, for all of our non-bodybuilder listeners, what is the goal of our improvement season, off season, whatever you want to call it?
the main goal of our improvement season and why we call it that is we're trying to build tissue in a certain time frame that we have discussed with our coach or with our own selves. You know, we need a specific amount of time to build, maintain what we built, and then go into a phase where we can lose body fat and expose what we just built. Improving weak points. So if Bella's a judge and she told me, hey, you don't have enough upper glute, what I'm gonna do is go back during my off season. That's gonna be a topic that I really focus on and try to bring up based on my feedback. Increasing performance, whether it be weight, reps, whatever the case might be, and staying relatively healthy and on the side of I'm not really exploding where I'm gaining 60, 70 pounds, and just keeping it
60
moderate,
pounds, 40, 50 pounds would be a lot.
like like keeping it moderate and while growing. And it differs for a lot of people. Somebody who's 5'4" is not going to gain 40 pounds and take that off easily during a prep. Somebody who's 5'9", 10 and up, 40, 50 pounds, that's what it's going to look like just because of height, health, whatever the case might be, but
More
keeping it
a
healthy.
small frame obviously is
Yeah.
like a lot more compared to a bigger frame, taller person.
And that's why I don't like the whole in your off season, 12 to 15, maybe 20 pounds you should put on. You're gonna look at a 6 foot tall girl and tell her, hey, 15 pounds.
Like for me, for us, 10 pounds, like we could lose that in like a couple weeks and be stage ready.
Like, 10 pounds? You could lose five. You could lose five and call it a day, actually.
Yeah.
So, you guys need to understand we need our periods. We need to feel joy, serotonin, perhaps. So,
And yeah, I mean, muscle building and improving our physiques to come back to the stage better aside, like improvement season is just important to live our life. Like we talked about this before. Bodybuilding's not our entire identity. We are human outside of that sport, and it can get very robotic at times, which is why we love it. One of the things we love about it, don't get us wrong.
routine.
Yeah.
Routine. I love routine.
Yeah, but with that being said, like off season, it shouldn't look sloppy. It's not like I know we already talked about this, but it's not like we're throwing everything out the window. Like prep and off season doesn't really look that much different other than the quantity of food that we're eating. And yes, it's a little less rigid. There is a little bit more wiggle room for flexibility, but all in all, we're still tracking our food, still weighing out our food, still hitting our macros, following a meal plan, whatever it is that you're doing. There is still routine and structure in place, which is key for optimal muscle growth. Like somebody who's tracking their food and hitting their macros, getting the right amount of protein, carbs, and fats in is going to make a lot more progress and more optimal progress than somebody who's just free for alling it and randomly guessing, hoping that they're hitting their protein goal, overeating fats, not getting enough carbs, etc.
Exactly. And it's really easy, especially in some like macros. I don't think people understand how easy it is to like overeat in it. Fats being one of them. Fats, I kid you not, this is really, really odd that I know this, but a Whopper. Do you guys know how much fats a Whopper has?
What is a Whopper again?
It's a Burger King burger, a
Right.
Whopper.
Okay, okay, Burger King. Yes.
I found this out 3 years ago, and it's I want to be safe than sorry. Let me just because this baffled me.
It's
Let
probably
me
like
just
when I'm in Costco, I look at a lot of the pre-made frozen burger patties, and I'm sure a lot of people who don't understand macros look at that, they're like, oh, perfect protein, like a beef burger.
let me tell you. Ready?
Yeah,
A Burger King Whopper. It's a pretty big burger, like by the way, and it has like a bunch of like shit in it. It's let's call it 700 calories. Fine. Like there could be worse. Okay, but it's just the burger. No fries, no nothing. Okay.
no
It
cheese.
has 50 grams of fat. That is 4 grams less than my daily intake on a high day.
And just because something, yeah, that is my daily fat intake.
Are we okay?
Just
Are
because
we
something
okay?
has 25, 30 grams of protein doesn't make it a good protein source. Look at the calorie to protein ratio.
That's that's the thing with peanut butter is a protein source apparently, Bella.
Yeah, apparently nuts are a really, really good protein source, actually.
A hack that people
Hey guys.
the hack that people don't understand is honestly sometimes when you're feeling like snacky, if you get some chicken breast, dip in some mustard and eat it, that's a really good snack 'cause you just got a bunch of your protein out of the way.
Just straight protein. Yep. And you know what's
Just
gonna fill you up? Because straight protein, very satiating.
and sometimes just it just tastes good here and there. Not all the time, but here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just make sure you're checking the protein, carb, and fat
Yeah.
ratios because yeah, just because something is labeled as high protein doesn't mean it's actually a good optimal protein source.
Hmm.
And if you are looking to optimally build muscle and make progress, then make sure you are tracking your food and hitting your macros every day and not just like eyeballing it and hoping for the best.
Exactly. We talked about the progressive overload in training previously, but I do want to ask you, what do you think is better? Adding reps or adding load? If you had to pick one.
Ultimately, adding load
Hmm.
because you do need to be over time adding weight or adding load. What we mean by adding load is adding weight. Over time, you do need to be increasing your weight in order to build muscle, but you can increase, you can still progressively overload, like we already talked about, in ways other than just increasing weight. But ultimately, I think weight is more important than reps.
Exactly, yeah. Just because if you're, hip thrusting 135 pounds, that's fine. But at a certain point, you're going to have to add load instead of adding reps because you could be doing 50 reps at 135 pounds. But the thing is, it's not stimulating the muscle enough for it to grow, right?
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah.
at that point, you're just honestly wasting energy by doing
Hmm.
50 reps. So, yeah.
Exactly. Which is the same vibe as people truly underestimating true intensity.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
learned that the hard way where this is why it's always good to log your uh training and also sometimes film your training sessions, certain clips, we send them to our coaches so we do that, but it also helps in the sense of you can look back and say, actually, I could have gone a few more reps or whatever the
The
case
number of
might
times
be.
I watch my training videos back and humble myself, I'm like, wow, that felt so much harder than it
Then it
looked on
looks
the video. And I'm like, okay, I definitely could have pushed out like one or two more reps. Like it's all a mental game, honestly. Like,
it
yeah, it's
is.
gonna feel hard. Those last couple of reps of your top set, it's gonna be hard. It should be. So recording those
Exactly.
videos to really make sure that you are pushing yourself as hard as you can be is super important. I get all of my clients to send training videos. I know it can be uncomfortable sometimes, but literally just prop up your phone against your water bottle on the floor like this in the gym. Nobody's gonna be watching you, and if they're judging you, then they probably don't have fat of an ass as you do. So
Sorry, I was thinking it, but you said it exactly. You know what? Sometimes it's okay. That's why I drag my tripod with me every filming day. Oh, it's coming with me
I have
actually.
my tripod in my gym bag every single day.
'Cause you never know. You never know. And the thing is, we're not saying. get in somebody's way, but at the same time, you should
Yeah,
feel
you
comfortable
can
enough,
be
you know?
super respectful. Like obviously
Yeah.
don't get in somebody's way, but you can set it up to the side and film yourself and
Hmm.
just make sure nobody's in the background of it.
Exactly. That's a really important one because
It's
sometimes
very
I don't want
hard
to
to
see.
say, hey, like I'm just gonna be recording this set, by the way. Like, are you okay with just being in the background? Like, I'm not posting it publicly. Like, it's just to send to my coach or just for me
Mhm.
to review my own form. It's really important.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Exactly. But then there's also, no, at the same time as you do need intensity, and if you can push more, push more. There's a difference still with training hard and training recklessly. Again, this plays into what we said earlier. Just because you can lift it does not mean you should.
Yeah. There's a point of no returns when it comes to messy reps. Like, keep your reps intentional. If the weight is too heavy, they're gonna be messy reps, and you're honestly not getting out of it. It's just hurting yourself, impeding your recovery. So just keep an eye on that. Be aware of that. And like we've already talked about a lot as well, proximity to failure is really important. You have to be hitting failure. Like,
Hmm.
I think it is initially hard to learn what true failure is, but that's why it's so important to record those videos and send them to your coach so that you can get intensity feedback. Imagine somebody else was there with you, like in the gym, like hyping you up, like pushing you to failure. That's how it should be. Just because you're training by yourself doesn't mean that you should be copping out and going less hard than you would be with a friend there, like pushing you.
Exactly. It's very important. Sometimes you just need the extra person.
Hmm.
We are spilling in time a little bit, so we are going to talk about our last, in my opinion, most important topic from the beginning, which is why you are not growing enough. Bella, take it over, please.
Why you are not growing as much as you should be or as you
Yeah.
would like to be, it's gonna come down to, we've said it already, your recovery. Sleep is the number one drug.
Hmm.
Nothing is going to outweigh that. If you do not have optimal sleep hygiene, if you are not getting good quality sleep, if you aren't managing your stress, if you're skipping your rest days, not tapering back training, deloading when you need to, don't deload as an excuse just to not go hard enough. But if you aren't listening to your body and giving it that recovery to match your training demands, then you're not going to make any progress. And overtraining is probably the biggest culprit to not making progress. I have only been training 4 days a week for this entire off season so far, and I
Hmm.
have made the most progress in this off season than I have in any previous off season. And I'm
Hmm.
only training 4 days a week, 2 upper days, 2 lower days. And that is just what I find works best for my body, and that is where I recover best. If I bring that back up to 3 leg days a week, training 5 days a week total, I notice my recovery kind of goes to shit. And so that was a telltale sign for me that I need to tailor it back. And like I said, less is more. So don't be afraid to take that extra rest day if you need to. Don't be overdoing cardio. If anything, that is also going to hold you back. Then you're just going to end up looking inflamed, watery, not feel good. Energy is going to be shit. Sleep is going to go to shit if you're overtraining as well.
Exactly. And on the same note, you're probably not eating enough. You're probably not eating enough. This one is very important because at the end of the day, you can be
And
pushing weight, you can be
power
doing.
is not just dirty. If you're not eating
Yeah,
enough,
yeah,
I'm not telling you to like go eat a
yeah.
burger and fries every night, but you do need to
Like
eat
you'll grow,
surplus.
but
And
like
that's
you will grow, but
your
you'll go everywhere.
yeah, you'll know.
Just you'll know when it's dirty, don't worry. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think you need to understand you could be pushing as much weight as you possibly can. Perfect form, great like everything. Sleep, recovery. But if you're not eating enough, how do you think your muscles are going to grow? Where do you think it's getting the fuel from as well?
Think
From
about
air?
a plant. A plant is not going to grow if you don't water it. I know you
And
don't
show
grow
some
plants,
sun.
but like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, same concept.
Yeah, same concept as that. So there's a lot that goes into why you're not growing, yes, but the most important things that people think it's way complicated than it actually is, which it's not. Recovery, sleep. I'm gonna put it together, right? Recovery and sleep. Proper training, nutrition being the biggest thing, but also over nutrition is going to be sleep. Your recovering is going to be this top thing, and then it's nutrition, your exercise selection. We also have your a good thing is going to be your supplementation too, because sometimes you might have things going on that you might not know about. You need 4 or 5 important factors to grow and to make substantial growth. So it's not hard to pick apart where you're not growing, because I can sit here and say, oh my gosh, it's been 6 months and I don't see that much difference. Like my measurements are still the same and, everything. But then if I ask you, how much are you eating? You're telling me I'm eating 1,400 calories for the last year. Oh, okay. I'm still doing a lot of cardio. I wake up at 5 a.m. every single day, but I do sometimes go to sleep late. But I do have to get that cardio done at 5 a.m. for some reason. My steps are at 20,000. Like, there's so many things that I could pick apart and say, okay, let's fix this, and then you'll see growth, right? So,
And
yeah.
remember, muscle growth takes time. You're not gonna notice changes overnight. And I
Mhm.
think it's easy to set unrealistic expectations for yourself. Oh, it's been 8 weeks. I've like barely noticed any changes. Give it 6 months and stop comparing yourself to others, because oftentimes what is portrayed online obviously isn't reality, it isn't truth. So stop quitting before adaptations happen. Be patient. This shit takes time. It's a long-term process, long game, not short game. So stay consistent with all of this
Mhm.
over time and you will notice changes.
Yeah, and as experienced, like people who have been in the gym for quite some time, you need to understand that you're not going to see as much progress as somebody who just started. Wanting to see progress in 8 weeks is just unrealistic compared to somebody who just started, because newbie gains are a big thing. Thinking you're going to make progress in 8 weeks compared to 6+ months, you also have to understand the scientific portion of it. If you build new tissue, you have to maintain that for minimum 6 months before going to a phase where you can try and shed off some body fat and expose what you just built. So there's a lot that goes into it. And also, really off topic, by the way, I got an Instagram comment that somebody said I was as strong as an untrained man. So we also have to we also have to put into consideration that when we see certain things, it can, like you said, like comparison is going to be the thief of everything in your off season, especially because it varies person to person. Bella's delts are, a very shiny thing. Like I look at her and I can see her delts first. In my off season, my delts are disappeared. But if I say shit, like I can see hers the whole time, but I can't see mine, I must be doing something wrong then. That's just gonna poison everything for you.
And that's
So
not true at all. Like we all hold body fat differently, and I look at like
100%.
Rita's glutes, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why are my glutes not
The
fat?
fat,
Or
the fat just goes straight there, guys.
yeah,
Promise you
but it's
that.
because I don't
Promise
really
you.
have much body fat in my lower body. So it's just
Yeah,
so person dependent. Don't be comparing yourself to others.
exactly.
And stay consistent with these non-negotiables. Make sure you're eating enough, training to failure, not swapping out your workouts every 4 to 6 weeks, and be consistent. Prioritize recovery. Those are the main ones. So yeah, and don't listen to everything you see online, because there's some big myths out there. So hopefully this episode cleared things up for you, clarified things. As always, if you have questions, please shoot us a DM or leave us a comment. And we will chat to you in next week's episode. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already.
Have a beautiful day, guys. Bye.